Special episode.
I hate the
PFC
bridge.
200.
Well, it's 201. It's 200, but it's 201 kind of.
Yeah, man. But this is like the
200.
Yeah, fantasy snuck in that.
Right, what else?
Oops. I gotta make it count, you know?
It didn't.
Yeah, it did.
I mean, it did.
We weren't there. We weren't all
Actually,
there.
we really did well this week with Fantasy Talk, so it did count. Everyone was scoring. Everyone that we said scored.
Tips on tips on tips.
Assists.
You said you want to start with City Arsenal or?
No, let's start with the bigger game,
Let's
the
start with fantasy
dramatic
talk.
game,
You
man.
know, we're gonna start with the game.
Let's talk with Conte and Jose Mourinho, dude. The battle.
Let's
The
talk
two
about
guys who hate
negative
each other.
5 minutes. Negative 5 minutes into the game. Before the game even starts.
Negative 5 minutes.
Jose's waiting for Conte. Waiting, saying hi to everybody. Conte comes out, not even looking the eye, just kind of shakes the hand, walks off. Barely anything.
Dude, and to fast forward after the game, they don't shake hands either. Conte runs on the field right away to go congratulate his players, thank the fans.
You know why?
No handshake.
Jose's mind games. Been playing them all week.
Yes, dude.
Maybe I should have
Cage
complained
man, like-
about Pogba and Fellaini. Maybe I should have looked at my track record. And look, his track record does speak for itself. He's got like 20 trophies or some crazy thing like
20
that.
to 4.
Jesus, but you got to show him respect, man, and that was Antonio Conte's only point. You know, we're both in a similar position.
Well, peers.
Yeah, exactly. We're peers. Just show me some respect. But you know, Jose's got to play mind games, and it came back to bite him in the
He
ass.
also had a great line after the game. He's like, what am I supposed to do? Chase him onto the field?
No.
People, why don't you shake his hand? Am I supposed to chase him? Or
Yeah,
chase
you're
him?
peers, dude. You're not running after him for his autograph. I mean, I'm fine with both managers. Conte didn't want to shake his hand. I think that handshake
I
stuff
like
is
that.
overrated.
Yeah, me too. I like that.
Look, I think it should happen.
I
I
like
think
that.
in general it should happen, but when it doesn't, I don't think it's the end of the world. Two guys don't like each other. They didn't say anything negative directly towards each other. There was no scuffle. It was just, hey man, we're not shaking hands. Let's just walk
It
separately.
wasn't like Wenger Mourinho. The
Yeah,
scuffle.
that was different. Wenger almost got handled.
Nah, bro. Wenger's taller than you think, bruh.
Dude,
you got the
Mr.
reach.
Soft
What's his
hips.
muscle
You got the-
mass?
yeah,
Yeah,
the
Mr.
Zero?
Soft hips, Mr.
That's speed.
Anorexia.
That's
Dude, a
speed,
strong
son.
breezable
What's
that guy
speed?
over.
That's speed. You got the reach. You just keep him at bay.
One to the
distance.
gut, one body hit, one hit to the body.
He
Shattered that
barely
man.
has a body. You got to make sure you
That's
better.
why you
better
punched
hit
through
right.
him.
I see Arson.
You go through him.
Pokes in the eyes. I can see him
Yeah,
go
it's
bang bang.
Dirty
Mourinho.
Frenchman.
Yo, the long fingers.
Stop
Oh,
it.
yeah, bam. I'm blind.
Man, back to the game. United came into this game with a fearsome record. Last 16 games, they had 13 wins, 2 draws, and 1 loss. And man, both teams. I got to commend both teams. Jose didn't quite park the bus, and Conte
Not at all.
didn't park the bus either. Man, these two teams went after each other. It was a stalemate at halftime, but it was a good stalemate. Man, two powerful teams sort of respecting each other.
They definitely showed respect for each other. And Man United actually came out the gates pretty fast. I think they were trying to get the early goal.
Yep.
And, you know, after about 15 minutes or so, realized that it
Chelsea
wasn't going to be.
settled
Chelsea started to grow into the game. For me, I was very impressed with Bakayoko's ability to find space. Like the first 15, 20 minutes, this guy was everywhere. Everything was going through him.
He was a real box to box. I haven't seen that since Frank Lampard.
And he has to work on his finishing ability.
He does.
Right? That's a part of his game that he has to work on, a la Raheem Sterling.
No. There's a few things that Bakayoko had to work on. I mean,
What
just
else?
when he had the ball at his feet, don't give it up. Don't try to dribble around 3 people. Just pass the ball and move. I mean,
You know what it is? I think he's so used to playing D-mid that when coach gives him a little bit of license to go forward, he's like, oh, wow.
I'll
I'm
shoot.
a happy place. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like if that's Willian, who's in that sort of position, I think you get a goal from him or at least an assist, you know?
Definitely, man. And he's still young. He's young and he's new to the league, 23 years old. Dude, in 3 years, if he keeps playing like this, he's going to be one of the best midfielders in the world, man.
Keep developing your
Like
game.
you said, he needs to work on his finishing. Once he has that, everyone's in trouble.
Let's rewind to negative 10 before this game. All right. Christensen, Andreas Christensen getting the start. David Luiz dropped. So he played center back in between Cahill and Azpilicueta against a double pairing of Rashford and Lukaku. He did pretty well. There was one chance where Lukaku rolled him
Yep.
Yeah.
and got
Oh,
a
no,
shot off, which
Rashford.
should have been a goal to back up his clinicality.
I think he got
stats.
tipped.
No?
Didn't that shot?
No, it was
he
a
was
clean
open.
shot.
He
It was a
didn't
clean
catch it
shot.
right.
He did put it
okay.
far enough in the corner. But other than that, he did well. And this guy has done well. I think we have to give Chelsea credit for bleeding this guy in. 21 years old. He's played a lot this season.
Playing youth.
But he's playing with experience. So
But-
this is the way you want to bleed someone
Exactly.
into the squad. But I gotta give him props against a strong.
I'm glad you brought that up because Antonio Conte was asked about David Luiz and why he didn't start him, and he just said tactical reasons. But if the reasons were strictly tactical, wouldn't he at least be a substitute?
Yeah.
You know, so it's been rumored that there was a training ground bust up. You know, Roman Abramovich had stopped by the training ground this week, putting a little bit of pressure on Antonio Conte. So I'm glad to see him get the result.
It all stems from their midweek result against Roma, where they basically rolled over 3-0. There's that clip of Chelsea defending, and all three defenders was Rudiger, Luiz, and Azpilicueta.
Their best
all
defenders.
going chasing the ball. If you haven't seen it, look on our Facebook. It's on there. So I think that was a reaction to that, and obviously Luiz does have that wild side about him. You see it in his play, and I'm sure off the field he's a very, emotional guy. Great teammate, but
colorful character.
Very colorful character. So got him a bust up in training. Yeah, man, I got to give Conte the shout, man. Coming into to play Manchester United, Jose Mourinho, a guy who was adding fuel to the fire all week with his mind game comments, starts a 21-year-old against Lukaku, who was
in the middle, bro, recently, in the middle of that three.
Yeah, who was till recently the hottest forward in the league. So it's Conte, good for you, man. Gets the win.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, but the big thing is we see the difference of Conte. When he's in the middle, everything, he literally is everywhere. He's a ghost. He's a little shadow. When he's coming out, he's standing next to Smalling. It's like, really? You had to put him next to Smalling. You got the shortest guy and the tallest guy.
Shut down.
But you know what?
Mkhitaryan sucks.
He's so smart.
Chelsea had the best 5 players on the field for me. It was Aspie, Christensen, Conte, Hazard, and Morata.
No Fabregas?
Fabregas.
No, I know, but I'm saying those are the 5 that I was watching.
Could have been the man.
No.
Add 6 then. Let's make it 6. Let's keep going, man. You sucks.
But no, it's not so much that they suck. It was just like when it came down to it, Chelsea just seemed that much alert with the ball.
Yeah,
they actually had a purpose.
Yeah, I mean it's to be expected when you're the home team. Obviously, you have more onus to go out there and take control of the game. It happens to every team except I think Man City. Home away, Man City is trying to control the game. They did it at Stamford Bridge when De Bruyne got that goal. So they're on a different level. But in general, when these teams meet, usually the home team's the one that has a bit more purpose to their attack.
Man, I would have liked to see Man United play the Mourinho way. Just bunker down. Make it difficult. Because
you want to see that?
I'm not one of those guys who's like the critics, like, Mourinho, that's negative play. No, play to your strengths, man. You're away from home. This is what you do. You try win games 1-0. Okay, you try basically not to lose games, Mourinho. That's your thing. And the disappointment of the match for me has to be Ander Herrera. He was playing soft all game, going down easy, gets the yellow card. I mean, Fellaini introduced into the game as well. I know Mkhitaryan was also a flop, but Ander Herrera, I mean, he's had a couple of games now to really get into rhythm. Hasn't quite found the rhythm, and on top of it, he was flopping, man. So, come on.
No, you can see
That's
it, man.
his movement. He does the tactical fouls. He plays the mind games on the field where he'll go down easy but get the call. Does it all the time. He winds the other team up.
Good dive.
He'll kick you, and then he'll go down easy. So he plays that card where he pisses you off, but you can't touch him because he'll just go down, and then it's on you with the foul.
Yeah, see, I'm not a big fan of that because he is a guy who likes to get stuck in. And when it happens to him, when people dive and embellish on him, he's the first to complain and get mad about it. So that's where I'm a bit of a hypocrite. If you want to play that soft style, I think it should be on both sides of your game. If you're going to be a diver offensively, then you can't go and studs up on players.
But that's his game.
Well,
that's what I'm saying.
Annoying.
That's a part of his game.
He's annoying. He pisses you off, man. He gets under your skin.
Herrera made that stupid foul on Hazard. You're in the middle of the field. He steps on his foot. I mean, maybe it was a yellow, maybe it wasn't. I think
it was a mistake. It was just Hazard being quicker on that one.
But at the same time, For me, Jose, I don't think he should have hunkered down because I think the big thing is that he saw that City won against Arsenal. And if he hunkers down, tries to get the draw, he's still 7 points behind. You have to go for the... Huh?
That's great. Hunkers.
It's bunker.
Hunkers down. Bunkers down. I don't know.
No, why'd you say anything?
No, it's hunker down. It's hunker down.
Bunker.
It's both.
It's Huss down.
It's both. Oh,
Hussy down.
Look, the tactical flexibility of Antonio Conte, give him credit, guys. He switched it to a 3-5-2. We know he's been playing the 3-4-3. He's the one who really popularized that system in the EPL recently. He puts Eden Hazard up top with Morata, changes the shape a little bit. This is what we mean when we talk about top-class managers. Can you adapt to your position? Okay, maybe it's going wrong, right? Chelsea's in a bit of a rut. adapt.
You got to move things
You
around.
still got 3 in the back, so you're not entirely changing the system. But now let's try 2 forwards up top. Let's see if we can apply a little bit more pressure that way. And it works. When you win, you get the credit. So I have to give him mad props for that.
You know, if Morata didn't get that goal, he'd be my most disappointed player on the field, because there are multiple chances that he should have got a goal, even at the end. The thing is, he was pressuring up top. He got a lot of fouls for the team. I'll give him that. He actually went down a lot. And it was just like, stepping on the foot, stepping on the ankle, which hurts. But Fellaini, got the yellow card, gave away a breakaway, gave away 2 breakaways, I think.
Yeah, but this
guy hasn't played in months, dude.
If you were watching the game, yes, as soon as he was playing that number 6 position, he was causing a lot of issues. But as soon as they moved him up top, all of a sudden, United's getting balls laid off. He's getting control. That chest control. That chest strap. What I keep telling you guys think I'm just a big Fellaini fan.
It's golden, dog.
You see it, he chested it, rolled the guy in the box. His finishing is a 62. He has no finishing whatsoever. But his chest,
that chest strap
99, dude. As soon as he comes out winning headers, winning chest straps,
see for PS, you got to add that stat. Chest strap control.
Yeah. He made Bakayoko look like a teenager.
He just rolled him. He was rolling everyone, throwing his typical
bones.
elbow, letting everyone know he's on the field. But yeah, man, I agree with you, Huss. Fellaini in front of the defense doesn't work. He wasn't quick enough for this game. You got a Chelsea team that was hungry and pressing, not too high, but when it made sense, they were pressing very high. So he got caught quite a few times.
And this was also the first time that we've seen Danny Drinks and Conte play for Chelsea together in the middle.
Reunion.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's a family
Let's get into that goal. The perfect ball. It starts out, the commentators talked about it the whole time. Phil Jones, so far up the field, leaving gaps. But not only that, right midfield, I think it was Lukaku or Rashford, someone slid for the ball.
Rashford
And they just missed it.
Rashford.
And right there, I'm thinking, uh-oh. Because it's always something little like that happens. Like, here it comes. And then Aspie gets that ball, swings it through the middle, and Morata 13 yards out. He shoots the ball with better finishing with his head than Sterling does 12 yards out.
Here we go. And you wonder why we bring it up.
No.
You wonder why we bring it up. Every podcast? We got to do this. Yeah, we got to do it every podcast.
That was a joke. I don't say it because you guys are here.
You riled me up, son. I don't like that one.
The minute that I saw that rewind, I'm like, he's 13 yards out. I gotta say it.
Dude,
that was a hell of a finish, man.
Brilliant looping header, man. It was the exact technique you want from that kind of ball. Not too much power, just sort of loop it over the goalkeeper.
This is why Morata's in.
Sorry, top right cheese. Top shelf.
Cheese. Yeah.
Top right cheese. This is why Morata, honestly, he's a class above Batshuayi. As much as I love Mishi, Batman, Morata does bring just a slightly higher quality to that number 9 position.
He played strong.
He was in the wars today. 2 minutes in, his underarm is ripped off on one side.
Yep.
I see him 15 minutes into the game, the other side's ripped off. Smalling, dude, he's the biggest culprit for tugging jerseys. You ever watch that guy play? He's so handsy.
Every time.
But that's the kind of defender he is. We've all run into those guys who just won't let you find your stride, constantly tugging your shirt, stepping on your heels. It's great defending for the EPL. He goes anywhere else, man. He's PKs every time.
Dude, you see Eden Hazard try to take on Bailly 1-on-1?
Yeah.
It's not happening, bro. It's not happening, bro.
Bailly's not having it. Speed, power, he's got it all.
Not happening.
So casual, though.
Not happening.
And then also, what do you think about the Phil Jones own goal? Got brought back.
That was a push.
That was a foul. I thought, though, Anthony Taylor sucked all game. Honestly, he was very inconsistent, especially towards the beginning.
I think he started doing better in the
second half, but he was very inconsistent in the beginning.
The foul that Hazard had. He
when he makes someone in the air and then he shielded Herrera. That's why
he quote unquote stepped on his foot or something.
But
he bodied.
Yeah, that's the type of stuff that I was talking about.
Yeah.
Chelsea played well. Whenever Valencia, Ashley Young went forward down the wings and they got caught out, they immediately tagged the space in behind on the wings where Valencia wasn't or Ashley Young wasn't.
Pulled a Marcelo.
They didn't capitalize on those chances. And of course the Rashford header that he closed his eyes when Courtois comes up to close him down. Should have been an easy goal. He scored a brilliant header against Benfica.
Yeah.
Or Watford, was it, a couple weeks ago. Great cross. Great header of the ball. Should have done better, but when you see a 7-foot guy jumping out at you, you tend to panic.
Yeah.
But if he puts that one away early on, man, we're up 1-0. That's the hard job done. Then you can pack the bus.
That's that age, man. It's just he's a young kid. Courtois 6'7", dude. Just natural intimidation. I think, you know, 3-4 years he's going for those balls. It reminds me of De Gea when he was afraid of coming out for crosses. It's like, dude, like, you're protected by the ref. Don't be afraid. But eventually, you know, with practice and age, now he comes out for everything. So I think Rashford will be fine. But I agree with you.
The chances are both ways, man.
Yeah,
Man U has to focus on that number 10 spot. I don't know what you guys are going to do about that
10
attack
and number
midfielder.
8, man. I'm telling you, this
you'll get your 8 back.
But this is the buckling. But this is United not having this offense. Remember I said it even last week, man. Pogba is that guy you have to factor. Whether he gets the assist or a goal.
He's been your best player by rating.
Hands down,
he links
man.
up the play.
Yeah. And we've been lucky enough to where Lukaku carried us for a while he was out. Mkhitaryan for a tiny bit. Rashford bailing us out with goals. Martial bailing us out. But at some point, you're going to be exposed. You can't go
creative guy who's unlocking. Cesc was that guy for them. Yeah, Cesc was unlocking guys, keeping you off balance.
Exactly, man. And that's what opened the space for Azpilicueta is because Cesc is stretching. You have to account for him. And it was just brilliant tactics by Chelsea. But United showing the cracks without Pogba. He's around the corner.
Ozil to Man.
Matic does enough in these games to carry the ball. Like he'll switch it from left to right. And he's very good bringing the ball forward.
Solid.
But Mkhitaryan couldn't keep the ball for more than 3 seconds. Where Pogba can keep it all day.
He had a guy named Conte on him.
Doesn't matter, man. This guy's been slacking the last 5 games. Mkhitaryan hasn't been registering any assists or anything productive. You know, we need to get him on the field. If Fellaini was fit for this game, I'd rather have him start in the middle than Mkhitaryan.
I still think Juan Mata is a better player, a better playmaker, I should say, than Mkhitaryan.
Yeah, he wasn't even in the squad.
Biggest crack for me for United, Ashley Young on offensive end was awesome, crossing great. Defensively, Ashley Young was atrocious.
Atrocious?
I mean, it's just the tactics.
Atrocious.
I think so. He lost his mark so many times to cross that ball. There's a lot of space behind him.
Zappacosta didn't do anything this game. Ajbi, that long ball wasn't actually.
No, but it wasn't even that. But it was like even Morata going in there, just taking that space. It's
That's
just.
not as
I think
bad.
no, I know, but I'm saying like that whole zone back there. I think Phil Jones. I think Phil Jones did a decent job.
And Phil Jones, I think.
No, I think Phil Jones did a decent job because he had more to do because of Ashley Young.
I just don't like Phil Jones.
Man of the match. Let's wrap this one up.
You know what, man? I'm going to give it to N'Golo Kante. All of a sudden, he comes back into the team. All of a sudden, Chelsea wins. He is the difference maker. He just makes them tick.
I'm going to give it to Morata, man. A guy who I criticized for being weak, not ready for the physical side of the Premier League when Michy Batshuayi came on a few weeks ago, subbed on for him, and scored 2 goals. Dude, he showed today he's ready for the fight, man. He's hungry for the fight. He had silky touches as well, held the ball up when he had to, took people on. Fucking perfect game for him.
Mental strength. I give it to Morata also. Shout out to Azpilicueta, clean sheet and the assist. Love this guy.
One of my favorite
hate that he's a blue, because this guy is unbelievable.
Yeah. By the way, real quick, 73 games in a row for him started.
No, he's
just
insane.
to let you know what kind of professional, what kind of machine this guy is.
He's a captain.
73 in a row.
He's a captain who doesn't even have the badge. That lets you know the kind of leadership they have.
I mean, this is going to be tough for me because I already told you that Chelsea had the top 6 players. I have to give it to Aspie. Not only because of the assists, but he helped out with Lukaku. He went against Rashford. He marked up Fellaini at the end of the game. He cleared the ball multiple times. This guy is a short dude, and he's playing against these monsters, these speed demons. And then he just shows that he is just a true professional. He shuts people down.
He's intelligent. His positioning is incredible.
Let's get into the other Manchester City game.
The other Manchester City game.
Yeah, man.
There's only one.
I saw the score and I'm just like nervous, man. Manchester City 3, Arsenal 1. Although it should have been 2-1, maybe even 2-2. Offside goals here. I know I'm jumping ahead, man.
No, jump that gun.
This is the biggest story.
Jump that gun.
There's 2 issues. Let's get into the first issue, the PK. Wenger comes out after the game, post-match interview, and outwardly says that was a dive by Sterling. FA is going to jump in because you're not supposed to directly
you can't criticize the refs like that,
by name. No, the player as well. You can't do both. You can't directly criticize players. Like, you can't be Jose and say Hazard sucks, you know.
That's why I cannot stand Wenger. He's always got an excuse. There's always an excuse.
What's your verdict? Is it a PK or not?
That was a PK. It was clumsy. It was absolutely clumsy. He bundled him over. Straight up. You know, like, yeah, okay, you could maybe a shout for shoulder 50-50. No, man, he was behind the play. He tried to recover. He was desperate. Saw Raheem was going to pull the trigger. Bundled him over.
Yeah.
That's not proper defending. That is a legitimate penalty kick. Arsenal lost this game well before there was a penalty kick, well before there was an offside call. You did not start Alexander Lacazette. £55 million. We do not start this man in the biggest matches. Instead, we start Alex Iwobi, who is, to me,
playing your youth.
Look, I love the kid, right? Nigeria all day, son. Okocha all day. This is not the game. It's not like he's been in a rich vein of form, and now, yeah, we're going to pop him in there. Like Rashford, he's special. We all acknowledge that. And he's been banging in goals. Okay, give him the start against Chelsea. Not Iwobi. Same thing. Francis Coquelin. It's the first time we've seen him feature in how long? You could tell he was off the pace. So I'm not even mad at Francis Coquelin. I'm looking at the manager. Why would you put him in that position?
Yeah, center back.
Why would you put Francis Coquelin in that sort of position against the best team in Europe right now? The hottest team in Europe right now is Manchester City. Have not lost a game all year. Tied what, one game? Yep. And you're putting him in that position? We got Super Jack on the bench. We got Laka Blood Clot Zet, as my boy Troops likes to say. Why is he not starting him?
I don't understand
this.
He didn't start him against who was the other big team? I think it was Chelsea. He didn't start him in two big games against Chelsea and against Man City. I don't understand why you're overthinking it with trying to put Lexi Sanchez at number 9. Why not have you tried it? Ozil, Sanchez, and Lacazette.
Just play your best players.
Lacazette comes on and what does he do?
He scores a goal. But of course he does.
Difficult goal.
Of course he does it. He puts him in when we're down and we're desperate. So now he can look like the super genius, right?
It,
exactly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. You overthinked it. You overthought
like
it.
If they didn't give him the PK, then that game is 1-1.
There's always an excuse with Arsene Wenger. There's never any accountability. I've never seen him say, "Okay, I was wrong. I messed up. Next game's gonna be different." No, it's always the refs. It's a PK. This happened. Oh, this opposition did this. Man up. Take accountability. Start your best players, man. It's that simple.
Now, in Arsenal's defense, I'm absolutely disappointed with that third goal that City got, Jesus goal. I'm happy fantasy-wise because I have both Silva and Jesus. But, man, if there's ever a bigger shout for VAR, Premier League wants to claim they're the best league in the world, yada, yada. You got German Bundesliga and Serie A every week getting PK calls right, getting offside calls right. I don't understand how much longer the Premier League has to wait. I'm talking about the third goal.
Oh, grossly offside.
Clearly offside. Even Silva knows he's offside. He stops playing for a second.
Everyone stops.
Now,
but Granit Xhaka's he's the guy. He completely stops.
That's the key in that you have to play to the whistle. There's that other side of the coin as well where you have to play to the whistle. Yes, the call was wrong, but they should not freeze.
That wasn't something you teach kids.
You're right.
I mean, we've all coached at one point or another. Hey, no matter what, ball's out of bounds, ref didn't see it, play on.
Al, that wasn't the first time that happened. About 5 minutes earlier, there was like a throw-in on Hector Bellerin's side, and again, they stopped playing. Mm-hmm. Arsenal players just raised their hands. Oh, it's out, it's out. They stopped playing. Yeah. So that, to me, says that it's a mental issue. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and just pin it all on the coaching there, but you have to have some leaders on the field. Captain should be grabbing guys by the scruff of the neck, like, guys, what the hell are we doing? Play the whistle. Don't stop.
Yeah.
And Michael Oliver, I had no complaints about Michael Oliver. He had a 10 for me. It was the linesman who kind of sold him down the river. And for me, even that call is the hardest one to make when the striker is closest to the AR and the defensive line is actually further away.
You have to look like past bodies and still consider the person who's right, 10 feet in front of you.
That to me is the most difficult.
And that's
call.
why, man, I don't crap on the assistant referees or the referees.
Crap on the FA.
I crap on the FA because there's technology out there to help these dudes. These dudes are humans, and I understand the drama of the game, yada yada. This game was set for Arsenal to come back 2-2. We would have had even more drama. And so what if Man City gets a counterattack and makes it 3-1? They earned it. Not this way, man. Not this way. As soon as that third goal happened for City, I was like, this contest is over. Kill the contest.
But that's terrible as an Arsenal fan, man.
As a fan, it's different. I was watching as a neutral, and I was seeing City starting to leave some gaps. Arsenal had a bit of motivation.
We had some momentum in the game, but we gave up as soon as the third goal went in.
Agreed.
The game was over at the 80th minute.
Agreed.
I hate that. There was no more fight. It was almost as if, these refs, they have it in for us. And they just mailed it in.
Yelling at people.
Yeah, Ozil was bitching, getting yellow cards, almost got a red card. It looked like he was borderline on getting a red card. Alexis is gone. Ozil's gone. Been talking a lot. I'm going to pass it to you, Huss. I'm frustrated.
All right, so next game, Arsenal has Tottenham. If Arsene does not start Sanchez, Ozil, and Lacazette together, unless if there's injuries, he should be fired on the spot.
He won't.
No, I know, but I'm saying these should because he didn't play Lacazette against Liverpool and Man City. Those were your two most important league games so far this year. Why do you not start your best players?
Can we think of any sort of logic why you wouldn't start him?
And how do certain recruits, certain players,
fresh off the bench?
Well, that's what I did. I sent the picture of Mr. Burns. Like it's one of those fingers. Like, ooh, they won't expect this. I won't start my best players.
Overthinking.
I'm like, you got Jose trying to mindfuck people with words. Harson's just trying to mindfuck people. Like, I gotta keep my best players on the bench. They don't know what to do.
The way Arsenal finished the game is the way they should have started, in my opinion. Have some balls, mate. Right? All right, let's put Giroud up top. If you're not going to change the shape, you really should play with the two strikers with Giroud and Lacazette. But Giroud at center forward, Lacazette on the right wing, Alexis to his left, maybe Ozil right underneath. Ozil right underneath. Then have a real defensive midfielder, maybe an Al Nani. Would have preferred to see even Al Nani over Francis Coquelin today. Something like that where you're showing me, okay, we're going for this. But dude, I can live with that versus starting like the way we did.
You don't have a full center back in there, so why not just change your formation? Yeah, now he's stuck with the 3-5-2 or the 3-4-3. Now we can't switch out of that.
Why not make it a 3-5-2? Why not?
Why not play Kolasinac as a defender? You know,
put
Koscielny in the center back role. You know.
This is Arsene Wenger, man. For me, Koscielny, he was pretty good, man. Like the yellow that he got, together. It was a smart yellow on De Bruyne. He was most likely going to play it into Raheem Sterling.
Next touch,
very tactical foul, so it wasn't a clumsy kind of yellow. For me, Koscielny was on it. Petr Cech, he was on it. Not much more we could ask from him. No, he's not going to save a PK. I believe he hasn't saved one since he's been at Arsenal. But either way, man, we shouldn't be conceding. Nacho as well, stupid foul. But for the most part, I mean,
he's not, dude, like I always said, he's not a center back, man. He did that job last year for you guys, but it's like Milner doing the left back job for Liverpool. It's just, at some point, this kid is going to get exposed. He should be out on the wing, either in Bayern's position or Kolasen's position, or better yet, on the bench.
So peep this, we're actually playing with one legitimate center back.
That's it.
Koscielny, and he wasn't even at the heart of the defense. With Coquelin at the heart of the defense, Nacho Monreal, who was a left back by trade, on the other side.
You know who I will give props to? Yes. Ramsey. Ramsey looks like he's back hungry again. He can't do it on his own.
For the moment, he tries. He'll drop off in a game or two.
Yeah, but in this game, he didn't play scared. In this game, he was trying to make things happen. He just couldn't.
He wasn't scared. My thing with Ramsey is dribble in the right areas. That's all it is. Decision making with him. Because when he gets on the ball, there's some things he can do.
Yeah.
Just dribble in the right areas. There were a couple of times it was like, why are you dribbling risks, here? Don't dribble here. Do it in the right areas. But I'm frustrated as an Arsenal fan because the starting lineup, it's almost as if you ever been in a locker room where the coach gives the team name and you all look at each other like, why is he starting this guy? Why would you put... You all know as players who the best players are.
Yeah. Check his breath. Is he drunk?
Yeah, when the coach puts in the coach's son who sucks, but you know that there's another guy who deserves to be playing, the morale kind of drops down, right? The belief kind of drops.
Because you don't have all your best weapons, and you know you're going against their best weapons. They're out there putting Sane and Sterling, the two hot fires right now. Poor Jesus has to come off the bench. That's how hot this team is.
Even play Giroud at number 9 instead of Lacazette. Someone to beat up on Stones.
Game plan, exactly.
Stones is not the strongest guy out there. Push him around.
Like you said, put Giroud up top. You can even have Lexi and Lacazette on the outsides, almost like a wingers, and an Ozil right there. But when it comes down to it, we've talked about before about how our manager's going to want to come to Arsenal because of the board. Now, our players going to want to come to Arsenal because they don't play in the big games. They can look at Lacazette and go, if I come here, does that mean I'm not going to play against Chelsea?
Right now, no big plays are going to come as long as Wenger's there. They had a hard time attracting players. Lacazette, I think they got him basically because they've been trying to get him for the last 3 years.
And because Ozil and Alexis were there too.
Yeah, but at this point, they're going to lose Ozil and Sanchez. Lacazette doesn't play in big games, and no one understands why. If we all could understand why, they're trying long ball tactic, they play Giroud, sure, okay, whatever. But no one understands. They got Perez last year, Lucas Perez, destroyed his career for a year.
For sure.
That guy never played, man. They would play defenders in that number 9 position.
Panic buy.
That made no sense. So that kind of stuff, Huss, when you're a young player, 21 years old, and you got Liverpool looking at you, Arsenal looking at you, odds are you're going to go another club, man, because it's just not clear what Wenger's doing, and there's so much hostility at that club that it's just not a stable environment.
And it's like passive aggressiveness too. But let's switch the focus from Arsenal to really the impending champions at this point. Everyone's like, already made them champions. But the
What
way
are they top 5 in the world right now?
I mean, they're
maybe more.
And the way Kevin De Bruyne is playing, this guy is
Lights out.
by far the best midfielder in the EPL. Top 3 midfielder in the world?
Let's go 5.
Top 5? Okay, respectable.
Top
Top 5. He does it all. His delivery. You saw the perfect example is the goal.
Yes.
Snapshot with the right foot,
Yep.
right power, forces a save. Plays a beautiful little give and go, little 1-2 with Fernandinho. Finishes with power with the left foot.
Low shot.
You can't
no
stop
angle.
him. Those are the best shots, by the way.
That's a Thierry Henry finish right there. Weak foot, low and away, on the Cheryl far post.
Let's not mention Henry and KDB, bro.
That dude. What are you kidding me?
I mean, now.
I'm not saying like for
Well,
like,
not
man.
that
I'm
far
just talking
off.
about that one finish.
Hey, they
I'm
live in
talking
the
about that
same
one
neighborhood.
finish, man.
No.
Henry might have the biggest house in the neighborhood, but De Bruyne just moved into the neighborhood.
In 5 years, we might be saying it the other way.
He's
That's
dropping.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
No.
De Bruyne,
Whoa.
You
Let's
know-
win World
you know
Cups
what
and
De Bruyne-
Euros out here. Let's
De
do it at
Bruyne-
an international
De Bruyne-
and club
De
level.
Bruyne moved into that ghetto side, of the town
he's
where
bringing
they're
the
going
property
to
value
gentrify.
down, though.
No,
He's bringing it down.
He's gentrifying the bad neighborhood.
Nah.
in-
He's the
in
new
Henry's
family
town.
of kids that just moved in.
He's a killer, bro. He's a killer. He's got
You get the
no
bachelor
kids.
pad?
Exactly. He's in there.
Hide your kids, hide your wife.
Yeah. He's in
Because
there
they're raping everybody out here. No,
Dude,
man.
but Aguero as well, honored before the game. The most prolific, and by prolific I mean his scoring rate, the most prolific forward in EPL history thus far.
Can we revisit the Harry Kane versus Aguero conversation
Look,
we had?
I will absolutely revisit it because we said currently. We didn't say body of work because
Okay.
we can have a body of work comparison once Kane is 30 years old. He's done working. Once Aguero is done with the City chapter of his life, we can have that discussion. Right now, currently, in that discussion,
I'm saying equal now. I'm saying
fair enough.
equal
Look,
or
they went
greater
there
than.
for-
It's tough.
See, you got excited when they gave him the presentation, when you heard all the numbers, the stats, but
You get a little
currently,
emotional.
dude.
But Doug, this guy, man,
He's prolific. It's undeniable. He's prolific. There's no denying it. His body of work
There's some
is
bias.
the most
He's
impressive.
literally one of my favorite players ever, too. But this
Harry
guy,
Kane?
man,
The Spurs boy?
settle down. Aguero, man, this guy's
That
absolutely
penalty,
amazing.
post in.
Posting in, open up. I don't like the open up, but it doesn't matter with this guy. He's so cool, so calm. Fernandinho as well for me is a very important figure to this team.
He's been balling this season. I'll
Having a
get
great
you his
season.
stats in a second for goals and assists. But I mean, he's been constantly involved in Man City build-ups. I mean, not just contributing defensively, but obviously getting on the score sheet, getting assists.
I believe
getting
he's 2
goals.
and 3, something like that.
He's in the
Wow.
Premier League alone. He's got two goals, 2 assists
Yeah.
from a defensive midfielder. You know,
just Fernandinho.
Fernandinho.
Yeah, man.
But right
But that's
now,
what they brought Gundogan. He subbed on too as well.
Gundogan, Silva, and Gabby Jesus. I mean, that's crazy bench. They didn't even play Danilo, who came from Real Madrid. He'd be starting on every EPL team.
They're also
Exposed.
rumored. They're rumored to sign a Espanyol left back,
Yeah.
Eduardo Martin.
Them and Man United's looking at him too.
yeah,
And
so we'll see.
Bertrand as
We'll
well,
see
right?
where he
gets a
goes.
bit of a
But
notice.
right now,
So-
City is. We're looking at stats of great teams where there's 3 goals, 2 assists, and 5 people with one of them. You know what I mean? Where it's not one
Spread
person
the
getting
love,
3. It's just everyone is a weapon.
But that's the
Every
chance-
single
It's the
person.
Pep
That's a-
system.
Yeah.
You know, it's the Pep system. But as Jose Mourinho proved in Madrid, it can be stopped. It's not
Yeah.
easy, but it can be stopped. You just have to be just as unrelenting.
Or just have
Still won't be
or
invincible.
one of 2 best players in the world.
Still won't be invincible,
Alright,
bitches.
Stop motivating him, bro. You're gonna piss
Bitches, you
these
won't
guys
be
off.
invincible. Nah, you got John Stones back there.
John Stones had a ball of game.
Yeah,
He's
John
real,
Stones
man.
is
He's
nice.
showing his quality.
John Stones,
Your media's slowly
But again,
trying to get on his
dribbling.
back.
We let John Stones dribble himself into a mess. A better team will take advantage of that.
They will, but it's. I see Marcelo get caught in that. I see Gerard Piqué get caught in that. I see
Picky?
Ramos get caught in that. It happens, man. When you play that style of, I've seen Rio Ferdinand get caught in that. It's just when you're that ball-playing defender, sometimes you get a little ahead of yourself. Unfortunately, when you get picked, it's right in front of your box, not 30 yards ahead.
Picked.
There you go.
Dude,
Get picked.
it was funny to see Pep Guardiola's reaction to Raheem Sterling. This game again could have been 4-5-1. Raheem should have delivered the pass earlier to Leroy Sané.
Either that or shoot it. Like, after you miss that passing angle, then you got to go one-on-one with Koscielny.
Something, but again, that's perfection.
Yeah.
That's what you're expecting, and it is an easy play typically for a professional to make. So you could understand Pep's emotion, but this team, they look like the realists right now. But I'm not ready to crown them yet. It's a long season. And
let's see how they do in winter, man. Let's see how they do in winter when the games are coming thick and fast and people start going down.
Christmas
time.
All
they need is Kevin De Bruyne to go down. Kevin De Bruyne goes down. Silva's not playing those ground through balls.
Nah, son.
The production's going to slow down. Now they have enough people to step up, but let's see if they actually do step up.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes down to a top 6 teams, really have to really start playing like a top 6 team against City.
Absolutely. There's no more messing around. Man of the match, I'm going to give it a KDB, man.
Yup.
This kid just keeps on ticking.
He's unreal.
TikTok.
Okay, man.
Let's get into Huss's boys visiting London Stadium.
Jazz Pool.
West Ham 1, Liverpool 4. Or should I say, Mo Salah 4.
Village 5.
Okay, with that first goal, let's really get into it.
All right, let's do it.
That's why we hit record, right?
That's why we said Huss.
That's why we got these microphones in our face.
Giant.
Oh, yes.
Do you even wash that sweatshirt? It smells kind of funny.
Yeah, first off, I do wash the sweatshirt. You guys. All right, so okay. Jeez,
Same sweatshirt.
So that first goal, Cresswell. He might have.
Cresswell?
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing.
I said Cresswell.
I was thinking
Cresswell.
Oh, I said, come on.
Can't get
But he saw one of the worst things a defender wants to see from the EPL. You had Mane and Salah run at you full speed.
Before that, bro, when you get the team sheet and out of nowhere, Mane's starting. What is that about,
Dude,
man?
that shocked me.
Sneaking it in there.
the bubbles. Was
Talking
anyone
about, maybe 20 minutes. In this pre-match conference, Klopp said, maybe 20 minutes. He'll play. Dude starts him. I love that gamesmanship, dude. It's great.
You can't let the opponent know what's coming.
Yeah, it's West Ham.
But I love how who scored has the 4-2-2-2. I love that.
That's manager style.
Manager style. Super narrow. Everything up the middle. Drive it up there.
Good.
Let's get the spine handled, guys.
Right, we got a double spine.
But yeah, that first goal, man, was just so unnecessary. You know, West Ham, what are you doing? You have two guys back against one of the fastest and most potent attacks in the Prem. And was it Cresswell who dove in on that ball too?
No, it was Fernandez. Fernandez stepped up, and he
got to win those balls. You got to take the man and take the ball.
One or the other. You can't let both go through. No. You can't let both go through.
This is what Liverpool is best at, counter-attacking. They're one of the most vicious. I think City's first, but Liverpool's close to it in terms of counter-attacking, especially when Mane's playing as well. But again, man, this game, golden rule, you have to score your opportunities when you get it. Andre Ayew off the post in the 9th minute, that came back to bite him.
It really did. But again, just as we were talking with Chelsea and Conte, when Liverpool has Mane, everything changes. And we talked about Coutinho. We even talked about it at the very beginning of last season, and I think I brought up I brought that stat up real quick. How Liverpool won every game that Coutinho didn't play, but they lost when Mane wasn't playing. And that was just something quick, but then it materialized into something. And then when each one went out, we kind of really took it a little bit more.
For me, it changed the most when Mane left for the AFCON last year in January, and they didn't win for 9 games, dude, when Mane left. And they had Coutinho, they had Firmino, obviously Salah wasn't there yet, and they didn't win for a whole month. And that's what eventually, shut down their title hopes, quote unquote. I don't know if they had real hopes, but they were in the race.
Oh, they're definitely in the race.
So once that happened, man, I was like, this is Mane's team. Coutinho tries to leave in the summer as well. Doesn't, is unsuccessful in his ploy to leave. So he comes back. It's weird. It's awkward. He's played decently for Liverpool, but he doesn't have that fire anymore. Yeah. He's lost that fire.
But I mean, and there's also Mane. Anytime he scores, he runs over to Klopp. It's just a different feeling.
He loves him.
It just, this guy, you know what? I'm going to give you a shout out because 2 seasons ago, the only person you were talking about for the most part with United was Mane. You wanted Mane from Southampton. And I was like, yeah, like the guy's good. Like, I didn't know. I knew but I didn't know he was. I didn't know that he was top 5 player in EPL. He's good.
Put him on a team that.
Okay,
and but he's in the debate. That's what I'm saying. I didn't know
it's not a ridiculous
statement. That's the thing with Mane is. Okay, some people may be picky. Oh, he's not the most technical. He's not the most clinical.
Defensive work.
Is he gonna affect the game when he steps in? Do you have to game plan for him?
Yes.
Yes, you do. You can't. You can't even. Yeah, you can't game plan for speed like that. But it's more than just his physicality.
It's mentality
his movement,
too. Yeah, man.
His mental.
Yeah, great call with the movement. He opens things up. Salah's finding joy because Mane's busy occupying people on the other side.
It's insane.
But I mean, you also just see the passing. Everything opens up when you have that speed. No one can cheat on defense. So once you get wide, you pass the ball, and then another big moment: Oxlade getting the start, getting the goal. That's so huge.
Yeah, when Liverpool had all the time in the world on the ball, because West Ham sitting there at their own stadium, sitting deep. At the London Stadium, sitting deep.
Sitting ducks.
The Chicharito and Ayew were sitting on top of the midfield whenever the fullbacks or the center backs had the ball for Liverpool. And this is at half. No one pressing, no real desire to win the ball. And it was complete opposite as usual for West Ham when they had the ball, pressed constantly, and they're playing back to Joe Hart time and again. The boos are ringing out because they're at half, get the ball to half, nothing forward, then they had to bring it back.
Well, how about Matip's goal? Matip's goal.
Matip's goal is just a comedy of errors, man. You're getting a lot of corner kick bounce through the box like that off Mark Noble's kneecap.
Shout out to Matip, man. I'm the only guy who's back.
Well, shut off.
I got your back, Matip. I'm the only guy. The only guy in here who's back. I got pick it up and hang up. Pick it up and hang up.
I'll pick it up.
Al's phone's going off and he can't turn it off.
I was being stalked right now.
It's haunted.
Let's continue.
The fullbacks though, Mourinho. All right, give him some credit. He was playing against West Ham, but give him some credit. Didn't look like a fraud out there. And Joe Gomez coming along.
Joe Gomez sucks.
I don't know, dude.
So.
I don't know, dude.
He got burned by Lanzini at the back post.
Lanzini
You said who that is? It's Lanzini. It's not some
and he got his English call up, man.
Dude, the guy brought it down on his chest. He's half your height. You let him body you like that? You let him get...
Lanzini's he's probably the smoothest player.
He got exposed a couple times in this game.
Look, he got exposed, but you...
How do you defend this guy on that goal?
Because he's a young kid, man. He's young, dude.
He's 20 years old.
He's showing more positive than negative.
Balls in the air, win it.
Like Stones a few years ago, even at Everton, came to City.
There's a reason why he got an England call-up.
Yeah,
he got his English call-up.
There's something there. I don't know if he'll pan out. It's too early. He's 20 years old.
Leroy Leeds got called up one time.
But he's an underground baller for a reason.
You have to
underground baller. You brought that name up for a reason.
You have to realize this kid was looking really good before he got injured.
That too.
And everyone at Liverpool were legitimately sad for the fact that he got injured because he looked like such a promising talent.
Looks can be deceiving.
I don't know, dude. This guy, but you know what, Lanzini.
Who knows if it'll pan out though?
But again, if Coutinho does leave, there's been a lot of rumors Lanzini going to Liverpool. This kid, I mean. Lanzini looks like
you get Lallana if he's ever fit to be the Lanzini, but the guy just can't stay fit anymore.
But I mean, Lanzini, if he can, he looks like a good prospect for Liverpool to go after.
To put Lanzini in Arsenal once Ozil leaves.
No,
that
wouldn't be horrible. It wouldn't be great.
That's an
exaggeration.
Well, of course it's a downgrade, but
it's an exaggeration. But
you think Draxler's gonna want to go to Arsenal?
Well, he's gonna get less and less burn at PSG.
Well, he might go to Liverpool. When
Liverpool don't make Champions League,
when Coutinho goes to PSG, send a couple players out.
He's got a German manager too, Draxler and Klopp. Maybe a little kiss.
You got Paramertesacker, son. That's daddy.
Let's live in the real world. Let's live in the real world here.
You're right.
But Lanzini, by and far the best player for West Ham in this game. If they go down, which seems likely at this stage, this guy's got to leave. Go at least a top 10 club, Stoke City maybe. This guy can play.
Hey man, all I gotta say is Dimitri Payet. You started
this club, man. He sabotaged.
You started the decline.
I was literally thinking during this game, I was like, Bilic is probably on the bench, just cussing out Payet, dude. They had a project. They were on the rise. They were probably going to sign people based on
everything around him.
They gave him a 5-year contract. My man signed with a smile on his face. The stupid picture they always have with them, like
pass it to Payet.
It's like the jersey like since 2023.
Yeah, man. And the dude 8 months later, he's like, "Yo, I'm out. My clock's not working. I need to get out of here."
Since the start of last season, West Ham have collected the most defeats and I think second most goals against. Next to Bournemouth have the most goals against in the last 2 years.
It's not good.
But West Ham, West Ham have the most defeats.
They stay getting smashed.
Dude, by the way,
They can't win at home. If you don't pick up any points at home, then you go to Anfield, you go to the Emirates, you get to pick up points there.
It's not home to them.
Park.
It's not
Upton Park.
It doesn't matter, man.
It's not home anymore.
You got to make it home.
Yeah, but it's not home anymore.
You know, this whole transition from Upton Park to London Stadium was, you know, now you got 60,000 capacity. We want Europe. We want Europa League. We want Champions League potentially. You're going to lose the Premier League.
But it's tough when the fans are 20 yards off the field?
Don't matter, man.
Look,
Yeah, 30 yards.
If it matters for Spurs,
it's the same
if it
at
matters for
Wembley.
Spurs, it matters for West Ham, for sure.
Look, but I said it doesn't matter for either one. Yes, of course, the environment. You know how I see it. When you have your fans close, you get a +1. When your fans are far away, it's a 0. It's a net. It's a neutral effect. It
So
doesn't
what's
hurt
the
you.
point of playing at home?
No, but what I'm saying is, like, you're
Especially against a
professional.
Liverpool, you need that +1.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, Liverpool's different, but it's not like this West Ham team has been beating people and struggling against big clubs. They can't beat anyone. And I'm saying this excuse about Upton Park, we miss it, it's bullshit, man. These guys are paid 6 figures per week to play with the ball.
It's something
either-
great. It's something greater than the
It's
stadium.
either the players,
but I think
it's
it's
either the
definitely
players or it's Village. That's it.
I think the stadium
Probably
does,
5
the
figures.
stadium does play at Parks. You want to be comfortable. You want to feel at home. You want a good atmosphere. The atmosphere isn't that good at all at West Ham given their current situation. But stadium aside, there was no desire by the West Ham players. Bill called them out. There was no, like I said, no one's chasing the ball. No one's sacrificing themselves.
What's a stadium got to do with closing people down? I understand that's what I'm
Exactly.
saying. It's a
Yeah, at
zero
least
effect,
play.
dude. You don't get that +1 energy, to make that extra sprint. But closing people down, that has nothing to do with
Lose the ball,
That-
tracking back.
track
None
back.
of that.
That's all I mean. That's all I'm saying, man.
But
That's
we've all
ridiculous.
played here, and when you're comfortable at your home stadium, right? Your home field. It's just you practice there. Not even these guys, but like
Man, I don't want to sound like that dude, but I lived off people hating me. So when I played away, I enjoyed it. I
Me
would
too.
call out the crowd.
Me too.
Because they pump me up. So like the more the crowd hates me, the more I'm up for it. I don't understand. I'm not saying every single player should be like that, but if I'm going home, driving a Bentley, living in a $1 million mansion, that's gonna motivate me to at least run. That's all I'm saying. Just run, scoring goals, getting assists. Yes, that's something else.
Even pretend,
just close
pretend
people
like you're
down.
trying.
Not if your manager's message doesn't ring true. And
That's the
I
sad
don't
part,
think
man.
I don't think
That's
this
horrible.
is all on Bilic though. Bilic,
Yeah, man.
It really is unfortunate.
Even last week with Antonio, that's mental lapse. I love Antonio. He's the man. That's mental lapse. That's not Bilic.
We all know that's going to be the fall guy, though.
Of course.
Whether it's your fault or not.
It's
But
easier
should
that
we
way.
put a little bit blame on Noble? He's the captain.
Noble was shocking this game.
No, not even about playing. You're the captain.
What? It's
Get your
not-
team going.
It's not his job.
As a captain, it
he
is
can't climb
partially
inside
your
your brain and flick a switch.
But you got
to
to
make
lead
run.
by example
Yeah.
too, right?
Yeah.
So
No,
you
he-
can't play like shit and then expect.
No, I fully understand. I'm not saying the play is any better, but I'm saying just in the locker room, you're the captain. Have that team meeting. Talk to them one-on-one. You got to get in their face.
Maybe he is.
Maybe he
But
has.
no,
Maybe-
Mark Noble's a guy that cares. He cares about this
He's
club.
been at the
He
club
came
since
to
he
the
was 13.
academy.
No, I fully understand he cares about the club, but
Yeah, well, don't call him out.
is it the fact that maybe like a Joey Hart, Chicharito, or like I played with better players than you, don't get in my face?
I just think it's unfortunate.
Well, here.
I love Bilic. It's just one of those cases where I don't think
It's
it's Bilic's fault. I don't think it's the player's fault. I just think it's not a good match. It's one of those.
Liverpool's a better team too. So like,
Yeah, that's why it's not the end of the world. He hasn't been fired yet as we record this, although there are a few
TikTok.
articles saying that he's going to be fired in
David
the next
Moyes
48
coming in?
hours.
it's how you lose,
They're
man.
talking to David Moyes.
Sam
Yeah, man, I
Allardyce?
don't
It
know.
matters how you lose. Like you said, once you're not running and sprinting, getting smacked by 4, that's an issue.
I say Sam Allardyce leaving this club really did hurt because he had them in a fighting position. Andy Carroll was fit. It was good days for them.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Bilic had his rise. I'm telling you, Payet.
Payet
X Factor.
sabotaged this dude,
Yeah,
man.
Use the
true.
X factor,
Shot a
man.
cannon in the hull.
And you know what? We talked about it on Fantasy Talk a little bit, but
So let's talk about it here.
December 13th,
Episode 2.
the night of December 13th, we're going to
What year?
see. No, this year. They play Watford, Leicester, Everton, City, Chelsea, Arsenal. If they can't get even 1 point out of that, we're looking at.
No, Huss,
West Ham out.
If he gets
No,
smashed
I'm
by
not talking about
Watford-
Village. I'm talking about West Ham out of the
Oh.
EPL.
No, West Ham play. I think
I don't
Leicester.
wanna see that.
West Ham. They put West
I
Ham
like West
play
Ham.
Leicester,
And
Everton, and another mid-range. West Ham, and Leicester and Everton at least. Those are 2 games you got to win, and then they get City, Arsenal twice. Then it gets really tough. But if they can take 6 points from those 2 games,
Watford
they
was
stand
the
a
other
chance.
team.
Watford, Leicester, and Everton. Those are 3 winnable games.
No evidence to support that they can win those games.
Yeah.
No, but you have to, because then you got City, Arsenal, then you get a really tough schedule.
Especially with Watford, the way they're playing.
No, they're cooling down right now.
Yeah, but they have goal scorers, right?
Yeah,
Kare, Richarlison.
Yeah.
They're going to put goals on you, so can you come back?
Yeah, they have the heart, and they defend too.
Yeah.
All right, man of the match for this one, I'm going to give it to Mo Salah. Shout out to Lanzini's hop volley.
Salah. Shout out to Mane, though.
Shout out to Mane. Finally came back. Didn't even put him in my fantasy squad because I didn't even know he was there.
I don't know.
I still have him in the draft. He's been sitting around like the 3rd substitute. 10 points.
Put me in, coach.
So yeah, I got Mo Salah. Guy can't stop scoring.
Yeah, I mean, I have to go with Salah as well. He was a fancy pick, captain of the week.
I'm trying to tell you, bro. I'm trying to tell you about Salah at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, you did.
He's the man,
You
bro.
did.
I
was on page with
real.
that.
Yo, Salah screwed me last week, made him captain. This week, pick up Dele Ali, take the -4, make him captain. Doesn't even feature
You're
the
doing
squad.
your transfers too
But-
quick.
Yeah.
This was Friday night.
I know you're transferring
This
too
was
quick.
Friday night.
If you buy him,
this is
let
Saturday,
him ride
1
out
a.m.
a couple games.
Saturday 1 a.m. Dele Ali.
Desperate moves.
But the vice captain, Mo Salah, takes the points. Let's go.
Nice.
That's huge.
Come for you, Huss.
30 ducats.
Where?
Bailout.
Fantasy.
Yeah, that is your fantasy.
The closest one
You're
to
not
you.
going to catch me.
I'll catch you.
Tottenham 1, Crystal Palace 0. Man, oh man, were Palace close to igniting their season. Zaha.
Good London
Oh, no,
derby.
no,
Good London
not
derby
even
here.
Zaha
That
yet.
was a good dart.
Not even Zaha
That's my
yet.
guy, man.
Sacco. Talking about Rashford putting his head down, Sacco should have had a header.
Oh, is that a penalty?
No,
Is that-
he didn't get punched. He got slapped. He went in for the ball and he ducked and he closed his eyes. And if he just stretched out, he would have hit the ball. Yeah, he would have got hit in the head still.
just that
But
simple.
Hit in the head.
it wasn't closed fist. It was just open hand.
He
Just
got
bang.
clocked.
Open hand
The guy's
That's
lunging.
fine.
The guy's
I've been
lunging
punched in
for
the
a
face by a
ball.
goal. It sucks. But at the same time,
You
I
haven't
still
punched in
got.
the face by
I
me.
still. What? You're gonna? No, we're not even gonna go there.
Hey, you don't. Once you
I'd
feel,
probably
once you
break-
feel Fat Tom's power, son.
I'd probably break your hand, but with my face.
That big ass
Headbutt.
dome.
Yeah. Same size. Actually, I have a small head.
Crystal Palace.
I have like a size
this
like
game.
7.5.
Tottenham Hotspur sucking.
Yeah.
Showing a little bit of a lull the last
It's a bit of
couple
a
weeks.
hangover, right?
A little bit of a hangover for Spurs, man. But this Palace team, since day one, before they fired my boy Frank de Boer,
De Boer.
before they fired him, they were playing well. They've been playing well all season, just haven't had haven't been putting away their chances. And the chance for Willie Zaha played in behind, touch around.
Oh my God!
Hugo Lloris pulled out of this game. He's injured this week.
Yeah, he was hurt. He finished the Real Madrid game, but you could tell there was a bit of a discomfort. He's got a muscle injury. And everyone was surprised they didn't play Michel Vorm, who's the second string guy.
Paulo
Gazniga.
Gazniga, man. He was playing nice. I mean,
He's playing
he
very
little,
nice,
little
dude.
suspect, but he came with some big saves.
Yep.
Header off the line on one of the corner
Scott
kicks.
Dan.
Scott Dan,
yep.
but that Willie Zaha chance, man. He rounds the keeper.
This is the striker
It was about
thing.
a foot away, man. If he could just bury that goal, Palace up 1-0, they have a chance to take something out of this.
He's
game.
gonna get his chance every single game. He'll
So
get his
exciting.
chance. I'm
So
glad to see
exciting.
him playing at forward. He's learning the position, right? So these are the things that come with learning a new position. He has to have that finality to it, right? He has to have that clinical edge to his game.
You gotta punish.
Yeah, you
You'll
have
be
to. You
punished.
have
You
to.
have to do that. If you want to be on a top
Especially
team,
away.
you have to score that goal.
Yeah, you do. You do. And
'Cause
there's no excuse. No excuse.
Every
That
special,
was cowardice.
yeah, every special player will have their special moments, hitting special goals from special parts of the field. But
You want to say
A lot of
special? What's that?
I know. I realized that I was saying special.
In a
so I went
special
with it.
moment.
Fantastic.
But it was a special moment, yeah. So, but those type of shots, you have to put on net. There's literally not a single person in front of the net. I know it's an angle.
Yeah, look,
but
Dude,
still.
we see
Yeah, let's
Suarez
not-
miss those shots. We've seen
let's not gas it up too much. I mean, it's a
off
cowardice-
balance.
It's a cowardice miss. He let his team down, but he's still the hero of the
Yeah,
team.
he'll learn from it.
He'll learn. He'll grow from it.
Actually,
Not the end of the world.
Sacco header was actually Zaha making a nice cross. It's almost a perfect
It was a
cross.
great ball.
He's the guy.
Was that a penalty
He's
though?
the guy.
No,
I mean, he would never. He missed the ball, didn't get to, but he got punched in the head.
no, it was actually more of Sacco going. I mean, they collided, but it wasn't a punch in the head.
The goalie came for a missed.
It's a
hit him in the
50-50.
head.
I think it's a foul. It's not a penalty. Put it that way.
It's bullshit though, because if you touch the goalie, it's a foul. It's a foul coming out.
That's why I hate it.
Guy punches him in the head. Nothing.
Yeah.
Living a double standard world, though.
Yeah.
I think if you come and you miss that ball, although it went out of bounds in the end, it's a tricky.
Yeah,
you know what? He shouldn't even have to worry about it. He
If
just
chested
got
it and got punched in the face, his next touch was going to be a shot. It's probably a PK, but because he didn't touch it, it goes out for a goal kick. So the argument's almost like NFL. Was he ever going to get there anyway?
Yeah.
I want to bring up Serge Aurier. Hey, man, look. For all the good he does, this guy is such a wild card, man. Both of those, most of the Palace chances came from loose passes from Serge Aurier. He's got to clean it up. That's all I want to say. Very talented player.
It's all that League One playing
too late back.
Yeah, man.
Playing with talent.
Loose passes, man, here and there. So Spurs have to be careful. Know that when you play him, there's a chance that he could be a liability, but there's also a chance he could get you an assist.
But that's why Trippier is starting against Real Madrid and not Serge Aurier.
Fair.
So Serge is going to earn. I think Serge, not long term, short term is the better play, but he has to get caught up to speed.
So Trippier long term?
Yeah, man. You're sleeping on Trippier, bro. You're sleeping on Trippier.
You're gassing Trippier.
Fair enough. Say that. I'm not going to sit here and debate it because it's just one of those things. When you see a player, you're like, there's magic there. I can't have stats to back it up. But, man, Trippier plays against Real Madrid, plays a perfect game at his young age. There's something there, man. I'm putting my money on Trippier.
All right, I'm not sold.
I'm not trying to sell him. I'm not trying to sell him yet.
This was actually the game I was hoping that he was going to get double yellow. Just for the fact, do you see his hair? Because it went yellow into red. I was like, oh, is this a sign?
Were you going to meme it?
Yeah, totally.
That would have been
Harry Kane. Harry, I'm a ghost. Phantom Kane.
Harry, I'm running on E.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
I knew
not even running on E. He's cruising downhill without anything.
I knew not to pick him up, man. Saw he was the hamstring was tender during the Champions League game. I knew they were gonna play him this game, but
used and abused.
I couldn't help it, man. Palace at Wembley. I thought tap in. Kane will get a tap in of some sort, some kind of set piece goal. Nothing, bro. Nothing.
Decoy for Son, who. Yo, man, he might be the best Asian player out there.
Dude, he's got the most.
For real.
He's got the most goals of any Asian player in the EPL. So, he might be the best Asian soccer player of all time.
Shouts to Okazaki. I mean, he's a fan favorite.
I wouldn't say of all time.
No, not of all favorite.
Archie's song. Everyone relax.
I wouldn't say all time.
Nakamura?
What?
You said might be the best player of all time. Or best Asian player of all time.
EPL all time. Go ahead, Okazaki. Go ahead. Be silly.
I mean,
that's all.
Be silly. This guy's the highest scoring Asian player in EPL history.
Okazaki won the premiership. So.
Did he or was he on the bench?
No, he was starting right next to Vardy.
Nah.
Yes, he was.
Look, he was.
Not the year they won.
Yes, they were. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Because they would always take Okazaki off around like 60th, 70th minute for Ojoa.
Majority of the time he was starting?
Yes.
Google it. How many starts?
All right.
Well, he looks it up. Let's wrap this one up. Son gets that Schürrle left foot.
Left or right? Up. This guy, man, I like his game, man. I'm telling you, man, I've liked this guy since I saw him at Bayer Leverkusen.
But, man, he was having a bit of a mare until he scored that goal. That goal sort of made his day a little bit better, but he really wasn't.
Another one he missed, too, right? When he was in open, really should have hit a far post, try to give the goalie the eyes and went near post. Those ones, just get him on target. Get him on target.
Make the keeper make a
save. You don't hit the target, then we really look at it as cowish, but I love this guy's game.
Yeah, he works hard, man. He works hard.
Very technical player.
Yeah.
Very technical player.
A smart player. But yeah, Tottenham ends up taking care of Crystal Palace. Very proud showing for Crystal Palace. Looks like they might be able to rescue their season. If they keep playing like this, man, they should be fine.
Will they get the 21 goals? That is the question on everyone's mind. Hussey's 21 goals for Crystal Palace on their way. Still a ways to get off the bottom, but this team will be fine.
Okazaki, 2015, 2016, started 28 matches, substituted 8.
What is productivity?
You're right, I'm wrong.
What was his productivity?
5 goals,
0 assists.
Only
helped him win the league, dude. 5 goals.
46 shots.
Sterling has 7.
Look, we know that
We know you have a soft spot for
Okazaki.
with his big
He pressed
smile.
the ball better than any other striker in the league that year. And guess what?
Vardy did better.
No.
Yeah.
Okazaki would do the pressing. They got the ball overturned. Then they would just slide the ball through to Vardy.
So Vardy wouldn't press.
No, he would press well, but he could have been second, not first.
What about Alexis Sanchez pressing?
Not to Okazaki.
I'm gonna leave this one alone. I'm gonna leave it alone.
Man of the match for this one, I'm going to give it
He's the
to
best.
Son.
Best Asian player of all time.
Comes through.
Settle down.
What about, what's his name? Suzuki Honda? Is that his name?
Suzuki Honda. Wow, let's get. Well, you just throw car brands together?
My bad.
Yeah.
My bad.
Hey, this dude,
My bad. Toyota Honda.
for real, the
Toyota
races
Honda.
want to get. Yep.
What was his name?
Dude, Kaisuke, man.
Kaisuke,
Kaisuke.
alright.
Hey, Mitsubishi Civic. This dude's nasty,
I wasn't
bro.
even that far,
Oh,
though.
this dude a
I
core.
wasn't even that far.
It's just
I wasn't even that far.
Kaisuke, man.
Yeah,
Kaisuke.
Suzuki Honda out there getting it done. He also might be one of the best. He'll have a
Yeah,
shot.
he's a
Japanese legend.
Quick note on this game before we wrap it entirely.
Yup.
Denny Rose getting the start in this one for
Boy,
Spurs.
back.
He's back, but for how
Yeah.
long?
Where you at, Alonso? Sit down. The real, proper left back's about to take over.
Yep.
We'll see.
There's no we'll see. Alonso
Yeah.
getting exposed this year.
He wasn't doing very well against
Getting
United.
exposed.
He wasn't.
It's garbage.
But he still did all right.
Got him.
Garbage.
Got
He had
7
one
just
hot
because
year.
the team won.
Yeah, he had one
This
hot
is the
year.
team.
1-on-1, that guy would get eaten up all day.
Num
Set
num.
pieces, he's great. He's tall.
He's wicked tool.
Quick touch.
Quick touch.
Dude, and what is probably the most dramatic game of
In
the
history.
weekend. My God.
Of all time.
2 goals in stoppage time, second half. We're talking about Everton 3, Watford 0.
This is
I mean,
why we
2.
love the EPL, man. This is
drama.
it right here. It's so much drama.
I mean, Richarlison, who has been cowardice the last 2 games, scores one of the most I'm only right-footed goals I've seen in a
Charisma
long
style.
time, dude. Controls it with his left, if I'm not mistaken. Lets the ball run by,
he
which
did
is
so
brilliant.
well to sell the goalkeeper.
Absolutely suckered in Pickford with that ball. Lets it run by him. Opens it up with his left foot, and then scoop shoots it with the outside of his right
Post
foot.
It's almost better that he
Post in roofer.
It's almost better that he did hit it with the outside of his right foot because it kind of threw the defender off. He
The
didn't,
timing, yes.
exactly. He didn't give him the time to reach
Just
back
sat.
and read
It was
his
also-
body language.
It was like closest. It was the
was
fastest
closer
way
to
to
that.
shoot.
Yep, that's
the,
true.
the least amount of time to get that shot up. Richarlison, man, this guy, I think,
Something there. huh?
irregardless of Watford's season, this guy could go. This guy could go.
Something- look,
I mean,
if-
he's got the Brazilian flair.
Hold on,
but he's got the
Odion
goals.
Hold on, Odion Igalo.
This guy's way. This
I'm
guy
just
is
saying.
way more than Nagalo has.
Dog.
I don't know.
Igalo linked with Man United. Yeah, let's bring him in.
That was never
Igalo had
real.
like
No,
that.
no, it's never real.
Remember that Dele Ali little roll, that little
Yeah.
cross section?
That was never
Igalo was
real.
doing that on deck.
I love
He
the
was
Gallo.
loving people.
I love
Everyone,
that
we
dude.
all love the Gallo, man. Come back
Dude,
to
he
the
back you down.
Like
Back you
Kevin
down. Get
Phillips.
it.
That's what I'm
It's
saying.
hard for one.
Let's just slow
look,
down on Richarlison.
Look, we
He's
should slow
younger,
down.
though.
He's young. I think staying at Watford, stay 2-3 years, do it at Watford consistently.
Exactly.
Get those 90 minutes. Don't get excited after 1 year and jump to Southampton, jump to Everton, where you're going to be chasing behind Gylfi Sigurdsson. You look at Kevin Morales, his career is struggling right now. Can't get on the pitch. Richarlison, stay where you are. Until that finishing comes on deck, stay exactly where you are, man.
I
You're going
agree.
to play the most. And they're playing great football. Watford,
Scoring goals.
surprisingly, is playing great football.
Doucouré,
Ball on the
man.
deck. Oh,
I
Doucouré is
like this
absolutely.
dude. I like this dude
He's
a lot.
nice, man. He's a
He is.
shelf, too. He's got that body. He's a beast. dude.
Pings too. Pings. Yeah, go ahead, Us.
So I was thinking about Baines penalty.
Already.
No, I'm just saying. Are you surprised that he's the one that took it?
No, 'cause he always
Why would you
does.
be?
Okay.
Why would you
It's
be
like
surprised?
Milner.
No Rooney as
It's
well,
like
right?
Milner for
Yeah,
Everton.
if Rooney's
for
on the
Liverpool.
pitch, I think he takes it. He took one the 90th early in the season.
Yeah.
But he subbed off.
Baines
around
historically
the
took him,
60th.
though, for
Yeah.
Everton.
Yeah,
Ben
well, I didn't know.
took him.
You know, there's a lot of players coming in, so I didn't know. Change of the
nasty
guard.
at PK. It's
And-
like he's the left-footed Milner,
Yeah.
right?
And
I've seen him
he's-
miss a couple.
Man,
yeah,
that
he has
P-
saved one.
I'd still
Yeah.
prefer Milner.
Yeah,
That
left-footed
PK
Milner.
is what I mean when I say that's how all PK should be taken. Keep a guess the right way.
Doesn't
Still
matter.
couldn't get there, man. A well-taken PK is impossible to save. Save your stutters. Save your eye games. Get it into the side netting with some power, side foot.
Whether you
You'll
stutter
score.
or not, it's all about the contact and the quality of the shot. right? So all that other stuff is
But
fugazi.
what I'm saying about the stutter is that you lose power because your momentum has to stop. You end up taking a 2-step or 3-step PK versus Baines, who took, I'm not saying you should be running up from half like Huss, but, a 5-step run up with no hesitation. Your momentum pushes you through the ball. I'm not saying hit it with, the top of your foot, the laces.
My point, Tom Cleverley.
To contrast, to contrast your point, look at Tom Cleverley's penalty later in the game. I looked at him and he was way too close to the ball for my liking. You need to be at least at the top of the box or at least, a little further back.
It took him a while, too. I always hated as a player when the ref would, take 2 minutes before.
Well, you know why? It's because the player, the Watford guy was down.
Yeah.
He was hurt with embarrassment, straight up. He didn't want to get up. He knew he caused a late PK. He was like, damn, I let my team down. I'm going to pretend like I'm hurt.
The Everton guy?
The Everton guy. Yeah.
It's, look, man, that to me always throws me off. I'm like, all right, this guy's had too much time to think about it. Yeah, you have too much time to think about it. And good old Man United missing wide. Ex-Everton as well, bro.
90 plus 11.
This game was nuts, bro. It was plus 12 stoppage time.
Yeah, because Aurelio Gomes got a nasty injury. He comes off. Oh, by the way, he comes off. Their goalkeeper comes on. What was his name?
Canizis, dude, lets in all
Everton
3 goals.
Scores 3.
Dude, that first
my man was not ready to play, Doug.
He was
not ready to play.
He was probably out here fucked up the night before. Getting fucked up.
Let's get it.
Dude, he comes on not 10 minutes later to get that first goal through Nias. And it was embarrassing. Yeah. There was no need, the miscommunication between the left back and the goalie, but dude, you come flying out of the box. Don't even come anywhere near the ball.
That's what happens, bro.
Take out your guy.
But dude, from then on, it was floodgates. Yeah. Once that goal goes in, there's belief and everything coming back. Calvert-Lewin,
he's the real deal.
He is the real deal.
Calvert-Lewin is the real deal.
He has to play. I think you still need to bring in a number 9 to help this kid, to help Everton stabilize while this kid develops.
I think Nias is the perfect balance of experience, of maturity.
Quality.
He's not quality.
Keep Everton up.
But that's why you have to have Calvert-Lewin play more games, grow into himself to where he becomes that dude, and Nias can come on. I think Calvert-Lewin is the real deal. I saw him do it at the youth cups, youth tournament. I mean, I like this guy's attitude. Yeah, I love everything about him. Speed, strength, his technique.
Yeah,
he's had a little bit of a dig at the Spanish guy, saying just because I'm not Spanish doesn't mean I'm not better than you. So that he really does embody, I think, the English youth who are coming up, and they feel like they're the best in the world right now.
Yeah, they won the World Cup, the U17 World Cup. They've had good
U20s
showings
as well. Yeah,
U20s, U23s. So yeah, the youth is coming through. The question is, can the English fans be patient enough to let these boys develop? We'll see, man.
Answer is no. The verdict is in.
Yeah, man. Huddersfield 1, West Brom 0. Clean sheet killers.
Pack your baggies. Tony Poulis.
I saw this one coming.
What's going on, son? What is going on, man? The baggies slipping.
It's all about the udders of Hudders right now, son.
Dude, these guys are just fearless. Beating up on Man United. Out here beating up on West Brom the week after.
Bounce back.
They don't concede.
Brilliant, man.
Bounce back.
They do not concede many goals.
They lost to Liverpool, right? Last week.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they played beat Man United, lost to Liverpool. Bounce back ability.
First year in the Prem too, man, and these guys are playing fearless, playing their game. That's what I love about it, man. All 3 teams that are up, obviously Newcastle, you would expect it. They've been in the Prem. But Hudders and Brighton Hove, absolutely.
Huddersfield, 11 games, 8 goals for, 13 against.
What's their record, though? Wins, losses.
They're at 4 wins, 3 draws, 4 losses.
That's not bad for
that's not bad for a team that just got promoted, but
especially with a negative goal difference.
8 goals in only 11. I mean, 11 games, only 8 goals.
And I look at their team. I'm like,
they're solid.
Who the hell's on their team? Yeah,
Tom Ince.
They got Tom Ince. Okay,
Moy,
good
right?
player.
Moy.
But the star of the show is the coach, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the guy who's getting the most out of his team. David Wagner.
Because he's best friends with Jurgen Klopp.
He's destined for bigger and better things.
For sure. He could be a guy you call into Everton. You want to build a stable club, Southampton. I don't think he's quite ready to go any bigger. But with the money at Everton, the
what about Burnley?
I think Burnley's fine with Sean Dyche.
No, but he might be going to Everton. There's a lot of links.
No, I see that. But what I'm saying is, if I was Everton, I'd want a guy like David Wagner, who's more of a system builder, because you have all this money. You got to start bringing in your youth. into a certain system versus Sean Dyche is going to give you stability. I think Sean Dyche is another David Moyes. I think you're going to have a stable club. Everyone's going to play well. Yeah, Tony Pulis. Everyone's going to play up. But I don't think he's getting you consistently into the Europa League. Which
I'd like to see Wagner at like Southampton before you make the step up to an Everton. Everton, man, they're a historical club, man. It's one of the most like historical clubs in the EPL.
And you made me think of it when you brought up all the promoted teams. I don't know the answer. If anyone listening knows the answer, please hit us up. This is strange that we have all 3 promoted teams in the top 11. I feel like that's pretty rare.
What answer? What's the question?
That we have. No, just when was the last time we saw something like that?
All right.
The league is in transition, man. You get these teams.
We'll see where they finish.
But still, right now, that's a good start for all 3 promoted.
You get teams slugging it out in the championship for 40-plus games a year. Then they come to the Prem, they're hot, they're feeling it. They'll last a year or two usually, especially in this day and age, man.
Bournemouth's going through it right now, dude.
Burnley's in 7th, but Bournemouth on the other end of that's getting the same treatment.
They're feeling it now. It's like Swansea a few years ago. Swansea was like this hot club. Bonnie was coming out of there. And then all of a sudden, those players got sucked out.
I think you almost have teams in decline, with Swansea in decline for years now.
Yeah.
West Brom kind of stagnating.
It's hard, man. When you play that system and you don't have the youth coming through, sort of replenishing the players, the money as well. Are you spending it on the right players? A lot of these clubs aren't used to having money.
It's tough to manage that money. Look at Everton.
They have a scouting system set up, so when they buy players, Everton, Southampton. Well, Southampton's actually good about it, but Everton's brought in all these pieces. West Ham brought in all these pieces, and they're just not panning out. Arnautovic is absolute garbage this year.
He is, man.
Because he's not playing, man. He came into that West Ham game and he was effective.
Even when he played, it's
not the same guy as he was at Stoke.
He's not $30 million worth.
No.
He's not playing according to his price. But let's keep it moving. Newcastle 0, Bournemouth 1. Shitting on Bournemouth. They find a way to dig deep, get themselves a very, very, very important win. Pulls them out of the relegation zone.
For now, but I didn't see this one coming. I thought Newcastle were going to take care of business, but
they got caught slipping.
They did, man. Got caught slipping.
Which happens, man. It happens in the APL. I mean, you play big, and then you come against Bournemouth, a team that's struggling, barely scoring goals, and somehow you let them break in and rob you for 3 points.
It's tough, man. That's the thing. This league is so unpredictable. How can you tell? Because it's like Newcastle, all right, they're starting to get it together. Lascelles, the captain, getting goals.
Picked him up, left Ben Mee on the bench. Fantasy. How's that go? How do you lose at home, Newcastle? Give me a break. You guys have no consistency, it seems.
And you know what? Let's not even think about how the fact that Bournemouth got that goal at the very end. Wilson should have had a goal. Pugh should have had a goal. Yeah. There's multiple times that Jordan Ibe, there's a few players on that team, I forget which ones, but they were getting very aggravated with him because he'd go up, he'd try to jump around 2 or 3 plays and shoot the ball when they're wide open at the top of the area. And it's just, dude, just pass the ball, let them shoot. But I mean, Wilson had that header just over the top. I thought that was going in. I think it went up a little to the middle as well. But then Pugh, so close. But
I thought we weren't going to think about that.
No, I'm not thinking about the goal in the 90th.
Oh.
Quick question. Does John Joe Shelby deserve an English call-up?
Yes. No. John Joe's nice. Does Ashley Young deserve a call-up?
For,
I think he was called up.
I would say before Shelby because Ashley Young can play multiple positions.
And the experience with John Joe?
No, John Joe, man, if he had a head on his shoulders, you can't afford to risk any minutes on him in the World Cup.
He might deck Harry Kane in the face during training.
Thank you. Or
he'll hurt someone in practice.
Or deck Muller. Outside of practice,
Dele Alli
get in his head.
Yeah. Dele Alli at training.
At World Cup, it's all about their mentality. Can you play a perfect game for 3 games, and then after that, you go game to game? He's got the ability, though. He definitely does. Southampton 0, Burnley 1. Another away team coming in, stealing all 3 points. I thought Southampton was going to do a little better here.
Me too, man. But Burnley's about that
Sean Dyche, dude, making an absolute name for himself. Keep those rumors coming. He's kicking doors down.
But does he leave? Would you leave this project? And because, Everton's not going to come knocking again come the end of the season. They're going to find a replacement or keep Alan Stubbs.
Don't do it.
But do you leave Burnley for the project like Everton with more money, bigger club? All that goes.
Personally, right now I wouldn't because Everton's in the basement.
That's the challenge, though.
That's the challenge, But if you do it and you take over Everton and you bring him out of that basement and you make him finish top 10, your stock rises. Now your next job from Everton, we're talking about jumping into maybe Spurs when Pochettino leaves, a Europa League team, you know. So
it's all about timing.
It's a massive risk if he does it. I don't think he should, but if he does, I'm going to applaud him for having the balls to pick up Everton when they're this horrible.
It must be hard to leave Burnley, though. You know, I wonder if it's tempting. I mean, probably give him a good contract at Everton, but to leave your boys.
I mean, Koeman, I think they said his golden parachute's like $8 million.
Yeah.
Because, you know, they fired him so early into his contract. Like, they have money to burn, dude. They have money to burn. And they fired, what's his name, too, before Koeman? Who was there before Koeman? Was it Martinez?
Martinez.
They also gave him a handsome, I think it was close to $10 million as well.
Man's on Belgium now.
Yeah, man.
So Chelsea.
So Everton's got parachutes, man. If Sean Dyche wants to take that risk jumping out of a plane, I don't think he should.
Don't do it, Sean.
4-game thriller, Stoke City 2, Leicester City 2. These teams going back and forth, punching each other in the face.
Mahrez.
Pretty good game, man. Mahrez showing up.
Well, the big thing, not even about the players, the first substitution of the day, Robert Madley, the referee, had a calf injury.
Damn, my boy.
Came in. You saw everyone, he'd walk around, it's kind of like, what's going on? Like, I think the referee has a calf injury. And then you just see him going up to the managers, they're laughing with him, kind of like pushing him around, like,
It's always great when you see that.
Well, it's embarrassing.
Yeah,
it's embarrassing.
His face is kind of red.
Because now you got to be the fourth official, and you got to like switch with someone. Yeah. It was an interesting week for referees, weekend. Just bringing it back to the Manchester City Arsenal game as well. I think Michael Oliver's like his sound headset or something like that was broken. Aguero was like, "What the hell is this?"
How sick was that, man? Aguero honored before the game, and all of a sudden, Oliver gives him like a battery to go hand over. He's like, "Yeah, man, you're heading that way anyway. Take this for me. Go ahead and go over." So funny, man. One of the richest players in the EPL being assigned like task, like he's on TaskRabbit or something. It's too funny, but yeah, man. Back to this game.
Shaqiri
shows some heart.
Finally,
should have
kept this guy, man. Goal and an assist.
You have a lot of regrets, a lot of fantasy regrets this
episode. 1 a.m.
It keeps me up at night.
You need to stop these 1 a.m. moves.
I need to learn the ways of Huss. You know.
Trust me, I want Shaqiri too. I had Choupo-Moting, but it is what it is.
Dude, Choupo wasn't bad. He got himself an assist, and man, I was watching him very closely this game. Guys, if you have a 2-forward system in fantasy, Choupo-Moting, if I'm not mistaken, I think is like under $6. I could be a little wrong.
He's a midfielder.
Are you sure?
Yep, he's a midfielder. Okay. He's 5.6.
Either way, keep an eye on this guy, man. He's got silk about him. I know Stoke is not, super goal scoring team, but if you need a plug from someone who might be productive on certain weeks,
he is 5.6. Yes,
definitely think about him as a plug.
Affordable.
I love Damari Gray's game. Just want to shout out the young kid. Keep it going, son. Keep it going. If he keeps playing like this, he'll get a call up to the English national team in no time.
And speaking of young guys, let's talk about the old man rewinding the clock.
Oh, Peter.
Brought in for a mission, the robot. They call him in, and he scores in the 73rd minute with a delicious cross from Jenan Shaqiri.
This guy, he shouldn't retire.
Crouchy.
He'll always be useful just because of his height.
Because of the height, man.
His height and his touch, man.
Yeah.
His technique. He's got crazy techers, but lump it in. He'll bring it down and play a pass. He's much more technical than a guy like Fellaini. But he's always in amongst it, man. Always good for a goal. He's got over a century in the Prem. You know,
power header, son.
This guy's gonna go down as a legend. You know, he's an EPL legend in terms of you reached 100 goals, played for over a decade.
He'd be underground.
You know, he is underground.
People are gonna forget Peter Crouch.
Dude, no one's gonna forget Peter Crouch.
But those are undergrounds. Hell yeah, they are.
Dude, who else has been 6'8", playing in the Prem,
I'm telling you,
weighing 110 pounds?
I'm telling you, they'll forget him. We won't forget this man's service. But Peter
the common
Crouch,
folk, but I think people who watch the Prem week in, week out won't forget this guy.
He easily had the best comment of any reporter question I've ever heard. I don't know if you or Free told me.
Yeah, they asked him. It was like, Dele Alli, what would you have been if you weren't, a footballer, car salesman? Peter Crouch, what would you have been if you didn't become a footballer? It's like, a virgin. His wife is smoking too. She's a babe, of course, man. But weird looking guy, skinny as hell. Never would have got a girl without football.
That game ends 2-2, man. Rescues a point for his team. And lastly, we got Swansea 0, Brighton Hove and Albion 1. They get themselves 3.
All this talk about Burnley and Huddersfield. Brighton's in 8th. Brighton Hove, sneaky.
So sneaky, man. I hate this team name, but I love everything else about them, bro. I really do.
Why do you hate the team name? You know West Brom's the same.
I know. I hate that Albion bullshit.
West Bromwich.
Yeah, man.
Sandwich? Bromwich.
Yeah, it's Bromwich. But Swans, not looking good, Swans. Paul Clement, Claude Makaleli. It's not looking good. Renato Sanchez.
It's going to be a grind.
They look to be going down. Palace is trending upwards, even though they lost. Swansea is trending downwards. And I don't know what they can do to salvage their season, but they're in trouble, man. They're in big trouble.
Got to give Chris Hughton a shout out, the Brighton manager who was manager of Norwich when they were up in the Prem. Dude's absolutely just a workhorse, man. He's one of those like Tony Pulis guys where he might not win anything, special, but he's a manager who knows what he's doing.
He's been around for a while. Assistant at Spurs, Martin Yule back in the day. This guy's been in the Prem, a lot of experience, and he's the right guy to lead this team.
Absolutely.
I'm glad they're doing well.
Dude, Knockhart. I don't know. Is it really Knockhart for real?
Knockhart.
They half the commentators say Knockhart.
Dude, it's like they're trying to say Kolasinac. Like they all say his name differently.
Yeah.
Kolasinac.
Yeah, Kolasinac sometimes.
It's ridiculous. But either way, man, gets himself an assist with a great ball to Murray, a guy who I considered picking up for FanDuel daily. It's like, Brighton, really? I'm going to pick up a Brighton forward, gets himself a goal, man. And I think he's heating up right now. I think he scored a couple
in the last game,
yeah.
Just don't second guess your gut.
It's actually kind of weird. It's like Brighton scored, and Pascal Gross wasn't even a part of it.
Right.
It just always seems like he gets the goal or the assist.
Yeah, man. He didn't even play. Actually, he did play this game. Didn't play very well, but
should have played Sir Man off Bournemouth. Sneaky guy right there.
Think so?
Yeah. No, so.
Who are you saying?
Don't worry about it.
Tell him starting out.
Sir Man on Bournemouth.
Andrew Sermon.
Yeah, I've looked at him.
Yeah, just.
But I'm telling you,
it's value for price, right? Value for.
Then go for Wilson. Callum Wilson.
He's been hot though. I'm talking about midfielders. Sermon's been hot.
Yeah, he's just coming back. He always got the goal. Next week he might be due.
Yeah. Alright, let's go for Premier League Matchday 11 review. Touch on some world games real quick. Real Madrid back to their winning ways, beat Las Palmas 3-0, clean sheets at home. Barca 2-1 versus Sevilla. Excellent goals by their substitute Paco
Alcacer. And this was Messi's 600th appearance, man, for Barcelona. Milestone.
Who cares?
Paco stole the show, bagging a hat trick, getting the match ball.
2 goals.
Oh, my bad.
2 goals. Got a brace, but it's a winning brace because they won 2-1. That's 9 goals and 9 starts for him.
Who cares? 600 appearances for a club?
Don't care.
Son, you never played that many games in your life.
That's a fact. No, I think anyone has in this room.
That's insane, bro.
You're probably right.
And let's not forget that Real Madrid's still 8 points behind Barcelona, but Valencia, second place.
Don't worry.
Only 4 points behind Barcelona. That's good. And Valencia has actually been linked with Sissoko as reinforcements during January from the Spurs.
It's because they have Andres Pereira, Man United low knee, playing at Valencia this season.
Have they been linked with Suzuki, though? No Suzuki?
Suzuki Honda. Deportivo La Coruña suffers defeat at the hands of Atletico Madrid, 1-0. And then Angers, spelled Angers, we're moving over to La Liga, playing PSG, getting battered for 5.
Hey, Cavani.
Cavani absolutely doing work, getting himself a nice brace. Mbappe, productive goal and assist.
Mbappe, Lotin.
Just out there out-sprinting dudes. Out-sprinting dudes for fun, man. This kid is absolute class. 2 goals, actually.
No Neymar, right, this game?
No Neymar this game.
Is he suspended?
Don't need him. But absolutely brilliant showing from the other 2 of the Trident. Draxler gets himself a goal as well. Nice little dink-ding.
Cavani's clinical, right?
What?
All right. Let's leave it alone.
Look, dude, there was literally a stat, man. There was literally a stat that said Cavani had the most goals, but he had also missed the most chances of all strikers in Europe. Clear-cut chances, the obvious sitters.
There was also a stat that said he had the best conversion rate.
Agreed, but my argument was always, you put him on a team that's not providing those kind of chances. You put Aguero on Actually, you put Ibrahimovic on PSG.
He's
the
more efficient.
Side. That's
He's more efficient, but it doesn't make him not clinical. He's still
it does. You can't
clinical.
miss sitters. You can't miss goals inside the 6 and say you're clinical.
My man's a top 10.
Because he's playing on PSG. He's
No,
getting so
because
many
he's
supply.
actually nasty. There's a reason why he's on PSG.
He's 100% nasty. We always debate clinical.
That's his main stat. His finishing. That's what he's best at. Finishing, work rate, and heading.
Yeah,
His
finishing's the best.
I don't know. Monaco 6, Winkamp 0.
What the?
Winkamp. I always think it's an Asian team with that spelling.
I love the French enunciations of these teams.
Trying, bro. Trying.
Nice.
6-0 out here doing work. Borussia Dortmund, Bayern Munich. Big derby game here. Bayern Munich goes to Borussia's home. Takes 3 goals for themselves. Leaves Borussia Dortmund with 1.
Hey, did you see Borussia's goal though? Shout out to Christian Pulisic making the shit out of Arjen Robben.
What up?
Yo, makes the shit out of Robben. Dishes it off to Batra, man. He's been linked with Bayern now.
Him and Koeman are the same speed, which I don't understand how it works, because Pulisic is this tiny little guy. Koeman is obviously explosive, powerful, but man, those guys are just as quick as each other. It's absolutely unbelievable.
Pulisic is real.
It's so sad, man.
People hate on the white man with speed. You know, this guy doesn't look fast, but he's fast as hell. And he dribbles like Dybala or Messi, not to their levels, but he's that mold of a player where he wants the ball on his left foot.
This kid could be playing with Croatia.
He's got the most dribbles in the top 5 European leagues.
He's got the boy face. That's why.
He's taken on the most. He set a record for most in one game, and against Bayern, I think it was like 14. 1v1s he took on. He wants the ball, he wants to go away. Against one of the best teams in the world.
I love it.
He's only a teenager still. The guy's fearless.
Don't be scared.
America.
Don't be scared.
Juventus 2, Benevento 1. Juventus find winning ways. Inter Milan 1, Torino 1, and Sassuolo 0, AC Milan 2. Top team sort of doing work in Syria.
Yeah, Juventus closing the gap on Napoli here. Now 1 point away from Napoli. So, hey man, that Man City ass whooping. Napoli had conceded 3 goals up until they played Manchester City. They got whipped for 4, so I think that's taken some confidence away from that team.
Absolutely.
They end up tying this weekend to Chievo Verona, who's actually one of those teams, man, who you can stumble on.
Yep.
So that allows Juve to get back into it.
Love it. All right, anything else before we wrap up? No, don't make shit up.
There's nothing.
Sign up to our newsletter. Thank you for following the show, participating, liking, downloading, telling your friends, your mama.
Always gets me.
Check out the PFC shop, podcastfcshop.com, latest in gear, newsletter as well. You can sign up. If you click the show description, there's a link in there as well to guide you to our newsletter for highlights and all that good stuff. Thank you for listening, guys. We appreciate it. Vote for us on iTunes. Give us some positive star ratings. We'll definitely appreciate that as well. We'll catch you guys next time.